Hi, it's Shar. This is the 1 week mark. So it was 1 week ago today that I had turned myself in on a warrant, and this whole thing blew up. And so a week later, my mindset's really strong. My faith is good. Um, I've learned a lot of lessons. I've learned a whole lot of lessons. There's a lot of great in the world. There's always balance. It's what you seek out. So if you're seeking to find more bad, you're going to find more bad. So just stop it and set your mindset to go find good. Um, I found out that there are psychopaths out here in the world that I have a friend who is actually a mentor that this person has reached out to before the charges were ever filed, and she has got everything that would let me off the hook, or so to speak. What my attorney is wanting to do is present evidence to DA that Anthony has violated the no contact and that they're actually assisting him break the no contact order. We have ordered his phone records, and he found out about that yesterday. I've got plans to move. I've got to move my house because he knows where I live, and he's not going to do anything right now, but if he gets sent back to jail, then I'm really going to be very fearful for my life. Um, I still have men contacting me under the prelude or false notion that they want to buy a house or they're a buyer, and then somewhere along the lines in the conversation, they hit on me or ask me if I sent pictures and just stuff that it just abuses me more. I've settled into my new broker. I still thank God every day for that. I thank God for a soft bed and my daughter being able to walk in the door. She spent her first night home last night. She was watching her sister's place while this was all going on, so that was really, really, really fortunate that we had a place for her to go. But she finally came home last night. I'm starting to downsize because my income it's just devastated. I don't have anything. It's not like it used to be, and so I have to just start cutting expenses. So I've canceled my cleaning people. I'll do that myself for now, and gave my landlord notice that I'll be moving by the end of the month. And this weekend, hopefully, I'll get a trailer and get some help. I don't know quite how I'm gonna move everything in my house, and I really want to do it covertly. I don't really want a lot of people to know that I'm moving, and I want to visit the family, children's services, domestic abuse place to find out what I can do to keep my location private, because what I now know is that my abuser is picking how big I will become. And what I mean by that is this was a serious misdemeanor charge. This should have just been very under the rug. Nobody knew about it, but he chooses to keep spreading this and making it bigger and bigger and bigger. And so he's going to choose how big I will become by how big he makes this. And then the other is that he will pick his punishment. And what I mean by that is my attorney has subpoenaed his phone records. And so, for every incident of violating a no contact order, calling a radio station, talking to somebody, we know that he talked to an agent. I also know that he talked to my ex-husband, who called me, I think, as soon as they got done and said he was fearful for me, which is very, very, very nice, but scary at the same time. So my attorney is wanting to present all of the evidence that he's violated the no contact order, and that by doing that, the charges will be dropped. She did mention that I might have to take a class, which I'll take a class. I'm all for learning and educating myself, and I'm sure there's people there that I'm supposed to meet and stories I'm supposed to hear, and I will keep my ears open and my eyes open. So I just wanted to give you an update. It's 1 week from when I had originally turned myself in on the warrant. It's actually, it's like 11 o'clock, so it's not even, I was still sitting in jail last week at this time. Everybody in the cell was asleep, and I was sitting there praying and meditating, and in my head I was singing, and God was with me, and he still is. I've got some people who have Like I was out last night with some friends for dinner. I've got a car that I was able to sell to get a little bit of money so I could put a down payment on a house that I'm going to buy. And I have a friend who helped me sell that, and we were sitting and he was giving me the money, and I could feel the people in the bar had realized who I was. And so we were sitting in a corner discreetly, but still, I could feel the energy change when people identify with me, and that's very frustrating because they don't know me, and I know if they did, they wouldn't think or feel whatever they're feeling. I was just listening to Les Brown, and he said, it's not the incident. I have to listen back to it, but it's basically boils down to, it's not what happens to you that's good or bad. It's your thoughts. And so, if you're wired to negative, then when you go out a day, you're going to look around and you might see the most beautiful flower that's one of a kind and no one's ever seen it before. But because your brain is negative thinking, you're going to see the bumblebee and take that down a bad road. And I remind myself of that as I'm going through this, is to make sure that I'm seeking good. So if that was my update, and I'll let you know if anything else changes.